Hello, hello everyone. It's Monday where we are back on the last day of Pride Month. Jay-Z, we gave you a whole month on Pride. Are you happy?
Oh, yeah, I am. I'm proud to be me.
Yeah, I'm proud of everyone. I think in Pride Month you can just be proud of everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's what I was. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I'm proud of. I'm actually mostly proud of like us all for being so awesome and just being ourselves.
I'm proud of our excellence.
Yeah, I'm proud
Maybe.
we're doing it, man. We're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to be queer to be excellent, but if you're an excellent queer, even better. Okay. Now we're reading Real Magic today. And what section are we on, Alexander?
We are at love, the central ingredient of a relationship has purpose.
Because we're on the chapter about manifestation and really magical relationships, right? So we're learning about relationships with purpose at this point, and that love is the central ingredient to that. Do you guys have any general comments since you did your homework? All right, moving forward. So, since I did my homework,
Yes.
which is why I'm so proud of myself, do you need to suffer and dominate people in relationships? Is the question he asked.
Wait, suffer and dominate are those are two different things, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think they both can occur. He just wants to know if you need to suffer and dominate.
No, that would be not fun.
Two different kinds of pleasure. Um,
Suffering to me is unnecessary. So
well, yeah.
I don't think you need to suffer in anything. And
No,
domination is also, oh, sorry, I'm not giving you a chance to respond, Lumiere.
no, go ahead. I was just going to crack wise, but go ahead.
Crack wise, crack away.
No, pain is so close to pleasure. But aside from that, um, I agree with you. I was actually going to agree with this. The world makes its own suffering. We don't need to look for suffering. You know,
Okay, what's
you
your
you
point?
have a you have a flat tire in your little bike, and it's not like you said, I'm gonna have a flat tire today. I have to make my own suffering. It just happens. So there's enough going on that just happens that you don't have to look for it.
Well, I would go one further and say if I did get a flat tire on my little motorcycle, then I would probably be on some rural road somewhere here in North Carolina, and then somebody would come along and then I'd have a good experience like meeting somebody new, or they would probably be in a pickup truck and they would probably say, "Here, just throw your bike in the back and I'll bring you to town." Like, like nothing has to be suffering. Suffering is in your mind.
Yeah, I feel like there's like the whole ball and chain thing. He's like my wife, my old ball and chain, this and that. Like, I feel like it's a trope to suffer in relationships. Is that the right word? Like, where it's like a conditioned idea, like we're supposed to just have a ball and chain.
Yeah, I think that's old school though. I think it's 20th century. You know, I'd love to go to Iceland with you, but my kids, I just can't. Or no, my wife doesn't like pickleball, so I think that's old school. I don't think that kind of suffering. I have to go to work. People think of that as suffering. I think in a lot of times because they don't see what's in it. And
Okay, well,
I'm generalizing, of course.
I think the reason he's asking this question is he says that the point in magical relationships with pure purpose is to give to others unconditionally and then accept what comes back with love.
Yes,
So instead of trying to control people and dominate them, you're supposed to give to them unconditionally and just accept whatever they can give back.
yes. And in the book I'm reading, which is um oh my God, Pat, Jay-Z knows this book. That's a secure relationship. You just give what you can give and you get back what you can get back, and you're not worried about stuff and you don't have the need to control. You're trying to find some way to make everything work. And um, Dyer quotes Namurti and says, "To love is the most important thing in life." And so, if that's your goal, then it accentuates that and diminishes suffering. I agree with Jay-Z in that suffering is partly a state of mind. I mean, if you get your leg cut off, that's suffering. But there are a lot of things that are
Some
really
people say that you could have a magical experience with your leg getting cut off, like that suffering is the choice. Like pain happens, but to suffer is like that's kind of a Buddhist thought, right, Jay-Z? Like you don't have to suffer.
Yeah, I've heard that pain is necessary, suffering is optional, or pain
Yeah.
is guaranteed. I forget what it is now.
So what's this look like to give to others unconditionally? I mean, what does that look like?
Yeah, I don't know, because it's like it's not also to give to others unconditionally, it's still got to be win-win. Like, I mean, you can't drain yourself by giving to others unconditionally. So, I don't know. I think that there have to be certain conditions. What do you guys think?
well. Yeah, I agree. You have to see what you're giving to, who you're giving to. I mean, I could use my mother, God rest her pointed little head. She was self-sacrificing to a fault. So I never felt like, she was getting anything she needed. I love to give. I mean, it's one of the great things about being in a relationship, little stupid things like bringing coffee to people and making sure that you get avocado if that's what they like, that sort of thing. But not to the point where I'm being abused.
Well, okay, so I have a story about this actually, because like my chart goes through these manias of giving gifts. And it's like I had this lady over at my house who goes to Codependence Anonymous, and she's like, that is a codependent behavior to give too many gifts. And so then I was like thinking about like, am I codependent because I keep giving these gifts away and I'm always sending mail and stuff? And I'm like, no, I'm literally in these manias, and these people are taking these gifts off my hands, so I'm not hoarding them, right? But what I did have to do was to get the gifts I was making down to a really small price so that I didn't feel like I was paying too much money to give gifts. Like, so like I was like count up beads. It's like I'll order beads, and like these beads are like 0.3 cents per bead, and I'm like, oh, I can totally give as many of these away as I want. But it was like a 50-cent bead or something like that. I can't do that. Or like this little charm I found, and it's on sale for 162. And I'm like, oh, someone's getting that for their birthday, but it's only 162. Like I'm like, I can give that
Yeah,
away codependently and not feel like I'm, well, getting, I don't know. But I think it's like the lesson here is to give unconditionally, but don't give across your boundary. Like, don't be a martyr, right? Like if you start
yeah,
giving to the point where you feel like that's tweaking your heart, like I gave too much, stop.
yeah, yeah. When you feel you don't want to.
So it's really not give endlessly of yourself and expect nothing of return, but it's like give reasonably. Give as much as you will expect nothing in return, and have that be more than zero.
Yeah,
Well, there's something different between demanding that your friend text you, like, you need to text me more, versus to send them something in the mail, like a card, and be like, I love you. And then maybe they'll text you and be like, thanks for the card, right? Like, it's a difference there. Like, you're wanting more interaction, but in one way you demand and try to dominate, and in one way you give unconditionally to feed it. And I feel like, I don't know, those seem,
I think partly with giving, the trick for me, and I've been practicing it for 16 years too, is to not expect anything back. So I have a son who I have two, but the oldest one, you could give him something and he won't say anything about it. He might go overboard and say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love this thing," but he might not. So when you give him a gift, you have to be willing. You might know that he likes it, but you don't. You have no expectations about what you're going to get back. And I feel like that's true for all gifts given. You should give them with the expectation that that person may like it, may not like it, but you don't need confirmation of that. I
What
think
about
true
lending money
generosity,
to people?
huh?
What about lending money to people?
Well, you, it depends on who it is. You know, I have lent money to people where I know I'm going to get it back and I expect it. I've lent money to people where I know I'll never get it back, and that's okay because I've made that choice.
Yeah, like I know someone who's like, anytime I lend money, I just expect it to be gone. And like I feel like that is under this give unconditionally kind of vibe. Um,
Yeah,
hmm. Okay, well, I think we can agree that giving is more magical than being a domineering requirer of things. So okay,
well,
so
it is for us, yes. There might be a dominating person out there that is more satisfied by controlling every single thing, but that's not us.
okay, so he says love is the central ingredient of a relationship at purpose. So love is a process that you bring to a relationship. Let's talk about that. Love as a process.
Interesting. Because that seems to be kind of along the same lines of like, you don't be afraid to give first because that kind of greases the wheels, like you were talking about with the beads, right?
Yeah.
Like if you are able to show your love and then that kind of makes things happen, it makes things manifest. And things aren't going to happen if you don't put forth some effort. So maybe don't be afraid to be the first one and put forth the effort. Does that is that along these lines, Andy? Or was it
You
talking
think,
about something?
Lumiere?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. I think yeah, I agree with Jay Z. Just got to be the first one. Let go of pride or ego. Say, this is what I'm going to do because I think it's right. I
Well,
mean, you can work on love, to use the phrase, you can work on your love so that you are ready to love and be loved. Because if you don't do that, then you may not be loved and you may not know how to love. One of the problems with being alone is that you think you might forget how to be loved and to know how to love, know how to pay attention to another person so intensely that you can see where they need your love.
interesting. What this makes me think of is like how we think in our culture of love as a static thing. Like, I love you. It's
Yeah,
just like a thing. It's just static. It's just like, I love you. Done. But this is more of a dynamic process. Like, I love you. I love you some more today. I love you again today. And like, it's like if we take all those love languages, like acts of service, gift giving, words of affirmation, it's like the process of giving it, like we always talk about it as flow, Jay-Z, of like, I'll throw the ball of love over to you. And if you catch it and throw it back to me, like, oh, now we're in business. And we're like, we keep, and the three of us choosing to show up on Mondays, it's like this process of like showing our love every Monday. It is that
yeah,
flow thing. You know what I mean? So I think I like this idea that in a magical relationship world, love is a constant process. It's not just a static thing like I love you.
yeah. I mean, there is a T-shirt that says it's a verb, but I think that I think if you don't pay attention to it, it can get static, and then "I love you" doesn't mean anything. You know, there have been times when you've heard people say, "Well, of course I love you." What the hell does that mean?
Yeah,
Of
like, why
course,
are you questioning it? You must have done something to make me think you didn't love me.
yeah. Or you know person, instead of saying, "Of course I love you," said, "Well, yes, I love you. I love you every day because I think of you and want to be with you, and I miss you when you're gone, and that kind of stuff. I'm so miserable when you're gone. It's almost like having you here."
Lumiere, I gotta say that what when you said maybe this was just in passing about how being alone makes you fear that you will forget how to love and take care of someone. I would not say that's true for me. I would say for me, the fear is that I will never find somebody that will love me.
Oh, well, yeah, I think that's part of it for me too. Yeah. Like the further away you get from being in a relationship, the more you think, well, you know, my farts stink. I snore. Who's going to ever, my breath is like a gag of maggot. Who's ever going to be with me? But I think that's just a self-perpetuating thing because there isn't anybody there to tell you. I don't care about your breath.
And I think we can learn a lot from this one. Like, I want to thank Wayne Dyer for this one, that love is a process, because I think the two of you, from what I know of you, is you are process-based lovers. Like, you look forward to this showing up again and again, and like showing your love again and again, and being in love repeatedly with your friends. Like, I think you guys are love as a process people. And so I think the scary part is, am I going to find somebody who will flow
Yeah,
back at me in this
Yeah,
continuous fashion?
yeah,
yeah, I think you're absolutely right there, Andy. I think
yeah.
that hit the nail on the head for me for that one. Yeah.
So we're gonna let's add that to our manifestations. Like, I'm in love with somebody in a continuous process-based fashion.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on.
Here, I'll show you guys on the horse show what it looks like.
And,
Whoa, it's the horse show again. Wait, I want the baby show. Give
Oh
us the
my God.
baby show.
Oh my God, I love you, so I'll give you the baby show. Shit, where are the
All
babies? Okay, hold on. It's the baby show.
I could just see this in a bar. Hello, my name's Melvin. Are you going to love me in a way that's going to
like this.
like?
Oh,
Oh, that's great.
We're starting the baby show manifestation.
Yeah,
oh.
like baby Equus.
Oh my God. I love this baby. I'm going to love it in a processed way. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying, you guys, I think this is a good point we should remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make a note.
Okay. But love is not lesbian processing.
Not that kind of a processing.
I'm just kidding. Lesbian processing is part of love.
Is lesbian bed death part of love?
Yeah. You're killing me here. You're killing me.
A
No, it
cor
depends if you're proud of it. If you're proud of it, then it is.
a,
Okay.
Because it's Pride Month.
a
Yes,
corridor of lesbian.
No, you can have any kind of love you want as long as the flow is going. You can flow in any
exactly.
ways. There's a lot of chakras to flow through.
Exactly.
The sacral chakra is only one.
And there's someone for everyone.
That's right.
Even me.
Oh my God, Jay-Z, now that we've tweaked our manifestation, I can see your boyfriend even more clearly. He just has to be like a process. He just has to be a process.
Process-based lover.
That's right.
Yeah.
Process based. Hi. Yeah, I'm Alexander. Are you going to be a process based lover? Can
I'm
you
looking for
parallel
a
park?
process-based lover.
Well,
And
doesn't
if
it make a
my
different
tendencies
picture?
are
It's like I
cool.
see you and your boyfriend hanging out and dancing and doing stuff now.
Oh yeah. Gaming and like making dinner together and going places, doing things. Yeah.
YouTubing.
YouTubing, sure.
All right.
Snow tubing.
Snow tubing. Inner tubing. Okay. The next point is love does not expect anything in return. It's an extraordinary feeling of affection, asking nothing. That seems like a one-way process to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think this stuff about unconditional expect nothing is a little more nuanced than it claims.
Because I feel
Or
like
I feel like in practice it has to be a little more nuanced.
Yeah,
because I feel like it's a one-way flow. It's like you just put your spigot out and you don't expect anything to come back, and
that's
that's not
right.
how the process works.
Yeah.
No, and that's not. Yeah, it's just not sustainable. Then you end up like my mother.
God bless her pointy little head.
God bless her pointy little head.
I'm gonna love her head later.
It's a great
Uh,
head.
well, no, actually, I think, one of the things we're not subs to these books. It's like we get to argue with the book, and we're like, Wayne Dyer, what is it? Is it a infinity symbol flow process, or is it like a one-way flow process? And I think that the key is you get two people just giving unconditionally, but you do it at each other, and then we get like an infinity symbol of magic, and that's really what you want.
Yeah, I think he's saying that it's not you giving and giving and giving, but you are giving and somebody else equally is giving and giving and giving, and so it's reciprocal because you're both doing the same thing at the same time. He's trying to tell you how to be ready for that.
So, Jay-Z, were you gonna say something?
I was
You were
gonna say something about a Moebius strip, not a infinity symbol.
A Mobius strip, is that where it goes like this?
Yeah, yeah, it's got a half twist before it connects, and so you go on the other side when you come back to that side. So yeah. Anyway,
All I know is that's like when you ride the slide and it never stops.
yes, yes, absolutely.
All right. Okay, well, I'm reluctant to say the next point. Should I adhere to the text only or should I edit the text?
no
So
editorialize. Go ahead.
What?
Editorialize. Go ahead.
Well, the next point is about, SEX.
oh,
You guys
okay.
want to hear about it or not?
Of
Yeah,
course.
of course I want to hear
What are
about
we,
it.
I don't
monks?
want our viewers to think that we're SEX obsessed, but it's actually Wayne Dyer who is.
It's
So
in the
Yeah.
book.
it's in the
It's
Yeah,
book.
right
that's right.
here.
It's in
The
the book.
words in the book, the concept right there, right there. Let's talk about
Not
it.
Yeah.
us. We're just
So he
Even in
thinks
the
that
act of sex.
that's right. Even in the act of sex.
the process of sex.
Speaking of actors.
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, he's saying you should not be like a taker and you should be a giver.
Oh, wait, okay. So literally this sentence says, to know you are satisfying your partner truly and authentically is all it takes to have a perfect sexual encounter. All right.
They do it back.
I'm gonna disagree with that
But
one.
no, but the other person is trying to do that too. So if you're just
Not in his
giving,
sentence.
no, not in that sentence. You have to read between the lines.
No, you're projecting
I
there.
am projecting.
Dude,
You're
only
trying to
date
give him a pass.
only date a Mobius stripper.
Yes,
Wasn't that good? Wasn't that good?
that's a
That is
good
good.
one.
It's got to be
Yeah.
a flow back and forth of giving.
Well, it's my own personal feeling about this too. That's, but I think that we've all been with people that they get theirs, and they go home. They don't care what you feel like. I don't know that that's him.
Have?
I don't I don't think that that's what he's saying.
Well, he's saying don't be that guy.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't think that not being that guy means you got to be this guy. Like, I think it's a spectrum, and I think it's best, like, yeah, maybe to be in the middle or to trade, times or something, like, but it doesn't have to be a perfect sexual encounter every time. And I don't even know what a perfect sexual encounter would be defined as.
Where you don't get the chocolate syrup on the sheets.
Ah.
Back to the horse show.
Would you say horse show?
No,
Um,
I mean, we're back to the same concept of don't be a martyr. Don't be like
yeah.
a spiritual bypass martyr, like flow state.
Don't be selfish and don't be self-sacrificing.
Yeah.
But I also wonder what a perfect sexual encounter is.
What's that joke? Have you ever heard about? I no, I can't remember. Anyway, well, as an astrologer, we'd say there's certain composite charts that are super compatible in this way, and like every encounter they have is going to be fine. But some charts are not that sexually flowy. I don't know. Maybe you should just be friends if it's not flowing. But I mean, okay, we get it. Okay, let's go on to the next point. So, as to not blush any longer. Okay, he says, bring love, don't seek it from others. So I think his whole point in everything here is like flow love out. And then if it doesn't flow back to you, just be like recognizing, okay, I flowed there and I didn't get any flow back. But what we've learned to do, Jay-Z, at the studio here is like we flow at people, and if they flow back, then we flow back. It's like don't be a martyr. So flow out unconditionally, but only flow back when someone flows back at you.
Yeah, it's fun to people who want to play with you. It's play. It's like, yeah, you can't play with people who don't play back with you because then it's not fun, and that's the whole point. So,
Right.
yeah. So it's like,
Players gotta play.
oh, yes.
What's up,
It's
playa?
like the Deming cycle, right? It's like you plan it, you give it a whirl, you see what happens, and then you uh understand what to do next, and then you plan that, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So another lesson here is when conflict arises, you're supposed to suspend negative thoughts, send out love instead. So communicate inner peace and create a miracle that way. So this is another lesson. So if a conflict arises, you're flowing, everyone's flowing, oh no, we got a conflict. He says stop and send out more peaceful love. What do you guys think of that?
Well, I think that takes a huge leap. I don't know that I have that capability. I remember reading that the only words Gandhi said after he was shot was that I forgive you to the shooter. And I thought, well, I would love to have that, but I don't know that I have it now.
That's a
Do
good.
you?
What do you think, Jay-Z? Do you do this when conflict arises?
I think I try because, so here's the thing, right? So when conflict arises, it can be, I guess you have a bunch of choices of what to do. And so if you can stop, pause, and then think, how can I turn this into a winning situation? Fighting back is often not going to turn it into a winning situation. So I think what he's saying is flow love back because that has the highest likelihood of manifesting something positive out of the experience. And I would say, or leave.
I mean, I think from a transit's perspective, which is like energy and chi coming into us from the heavens and pushing through our chakras, I don't know that you can always do this in a conflict. Like what Billy and I used to we had a conflict container like worked out because our Marses are opposed, and so we would go into conflict states and we would actually time a lot of our work to these conflict states. But our agreement was if we go into a conflict state and we're starting to get aggressive with each other, back away and start texting. So we would back away and start texting each other, and then we would go farther and farther away until we could be calm again. But it was like when we were in each other's auras, we could not calm down. Like so, it's like I think I like his point here, which is you can treat conflict as if it's happening organically and arising and not like it's the other person's fault. Like you did this and you did that. It's like You can be like, whoa, a conflict has arisen. Okay, hold on, I will back away and like find peace again. And I think I do believe in that. I just think you need to get out of each other's auras a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. Um, it's like the probability of conflict arising this Tuesday between 10 and 5 is high. So if it's based on probability, it might just happen, and it might not have anything to do with what's actually causing the conflict. It might just be that it's time. It's time for conflict.
Yeah, that would be
It's
the
conflict
astrological
time.
fight time. Yeah, well, or like today, my daughter brought a kind of controversial situation to me and Shane, and he and I totally did. He had an idea, and I was like, I totally full on disagree with him. Like I was like, and then that overstimmed her, and I was just like, what? We just disagree. But we were able to peacefully be like, we disagree, and then zoom out and like not be like, oh, that, it's like
Yeah,
I think we have this as astrologers is like conflict is arising celestially and philosophically, and it's not a blame-based system. Whereas a lot of, like I always hear people who don't have astrology, they're like, he's a douchebag. It's like he disagrees with me, he's a douchebag. Like that's kind of what Wayne Dyer's fighting against, is like that kind of thinking.
yeah, yeah. But that kind of thing is to me ego based. That means he didn't do what I want him to do. He might be a douchebag. I mean, that's possible too. But yeah, Dyer doesn't want us to do that.
Right, Jay-Z, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I think that conflict also is necessary to kind of like move the plot of life along.
Yeah,
So conflict and I agree that like uh always turning conflict into peace is like also not moving the plot along sometimes.
yeah,
Sometimes there need to be clashes, and like you're saying, like there do need to be times when you meet fire with fire because the other person is like from they're right from their perspective, but from your perspective they're not, and so you need to share your perspective. So, and if it comes out in a clash, I do think that's fine too. And I think though that the way to be peaceful while you're clashing is like we learned in the Lazy Man's Guide to Enlightenment, and like you just said the words, Andy, like zoom out. It's like you be the witness and you're like, ooh, wait, they said something I disagree with, and I'm gonna fight about this one because my character needs to fight about this one.
We
Or
are in a movie, and in the movie there's a fight.
yeah, yeah. Or it's like Mars is on my Mars and my character needs to fight right now. Yeah, not be peaceful. So maybe I'm contradicting what I said a few minutes ago, but I do believe that there's time to fight too.
Well, I'll say one more thing, and then sorry we have to close. But like, is that in conflict, people are more productive and creative, and so it's like if we take away all the conflict, then we lose the creativity, and that we lose that creative impetus. And so I think what we're asking is, yes, let there be drama, let there be fights, and yes, let's zoom out and see them as part of the movie, and still love each other during the fight, and that is a kind of a melding of Dyer and us.
yeah. I have two closing things. The first one is that the book that I'm reading now, Attached, says that it's a myth that conflict is not good for a relationship. It's healthy for a relationship. And the second thing is, if you take out all conflict, you don't have a plot. There is no story that you have ever read, seen, heard, or gone to without conflict. And if it is, it's just Hallmark and it's boring. Everything needs conflict.
Yeah.
And there's no growth without it, I think.
Yeah, we're in drama. We're drama bringers. And in show business, you always show your business. So show your conflicts, people. All right, we'll see you later.
All
All
right.
right, bye.
All right,
Thanks. I love you
bye.
guys.